are swinging on vines like they are Tarzan.
The seeds of chaos I've sown.
You are... Holy crap! Who cares? You do!
Here we go.
Do you see why?
There are no good lightsaber fights outside of Star Wars video game cutscenes.
Okay.
3,
2, 1, disagree. What the
Dude, I hate the lightsaber fights in like every Star Wars movie.
Okay, we need to go through them. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a few good ones.
I think I know which one you guys are gonna fight.
Darth and Luke.
Return of the
is that the
Jedi
one?
bangs.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi bangs.
Which lightsaber fight specifically?
Vader, Luke in front of
I
the
knew
Emperor.
where Luke's just hitting him with a
Amazing,
baseball bat.
and they stop fighting, and you've got half of his face is blue and half of his face is red.
Darth Maul.
Like what about Darth Maul? Most of the prequel fights are cool for being unique because it's like sword dance, but it's just sword dance.
There is no emotional weight to those scenes.
Okay.
The most emotional weight on any fight in almost any fiction ever is Obi-Wan versus Anakin.
But it's like...
But it's not well acted.
It's not well acted.
Oh, shut the frick up. Shut the frick up. You're not acting when you're fighting.
Hayden Christensen, does not... I
don't want to hear your opinion on this anymore. What the frick is wrong with the Mustafar fight?
That's 30 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes long. You are acting while you're fighting. The difference between, your average, Captain America up against a bunch of goons and, Captain America versus the Winter Soldier is those, emotional beats in their faces. It's the desperation. It's the story wrapped around it. Here's my issue with all the lightsaber fights, except for the Luke versus Vader. I'll wiggle on a bit.
Okay.
My issue is that, I don't see the strategy and technique in the movie ones that I see in the video game cutscenes.
Nope, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to cut you off.
Okay,
I would
go
like
on.
you to finish your point. You are wrong. I could give you every strategy for every original trilogy one. Okay? Ben versus Vader.
Right.
Ben is constantly moving away. He's constantly baiting Vader out. He's wasting time. He is stalling. That is entirely what Ben is doing. The whole fight, Vader is going for the kill the entire time. It's all stabbing motions, and that is when it's not choreographed at all. Anybody that tells me that fight is boring, I have no problem with that. I think that's the best movie of all time. I have no problem when people tell me the New Hope Ben fight is boring, because it's slow. I'll give you that. But the whole time, there is strategy with their movements. Empire, Vader versus Luke is the most strategy we've ever seen. Luke's fighting in that movie is entirely based on his character in that movie. His character the entire movie is, I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to see this thing, because he couldn't on Tatooine. His whole character on Tatooine in New Hope is, I want to go to Tashi Station. I want to go to war. I don't want to do the farm. I want to do this. I want to do that. In Empire, it's the perfect progression from Luke A to Luke B, because Luke B is, I am going to check out that meteorite and then get attacked by the Wampa. I am going to go train with Yoda. I am going to steer into this planet on Dagobah, even though all of my readings are telling me not to. I am going to leave, even though my training is halfway done, because I think maybe my friends are in danger. I am going to swing at Vader. I am going to attack him. I am going to shoot at Boba Fett, even though Leia's right there. That's his whole thing. His whole tactic in the fight with Vader is he is swinging it's just mindless. He's just going for it.
Right.
And Vader is so strategic. He's slow. He's not going to make the big mistake. It's almost like a football player just taking the check downs. He's slow, and then he is using. As the fight is going on, he is learning what Luke can do, and he is learning his advantages. So he tries to get him in the carbonite. It's too easy. Learns that Luke has figured out that he could get out of that, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm learning. And then he realizes that Luke just isn't with it in the Force, and he's just throwing the whole time in the thing, and then he gets knocked out of the window, and by then the fight's over, because Luke has just lost all the high ground, all the momentum, everything, and then he obviously cuts off his hand and keeps pushing him back. So there's so much strategy in that fight. And then the Return of the Jedi fight, Vader is not trying at all. He is only blocking. He is only trying to stop his son from making the big mistake. And then finally he's annoyed, and you can see it in his fighting, but he's annoyed, and then Luke escapes, and he's like, I'm not going to fight, whatever. And then he's like, okay, I gotta go with this kid. And fighting, and then he says the thing that makes the big mistake, and he almost turns
Right.
to the dark side. Yeah, I completely disagree. I think every single original trilogy fight has a lot of strategy in it.
That was beautiful.
Thank
First
you.
off, that was absolutely like heart palpitating. Like,
It's a good description.
have you ever played this game and someone has changed their answer?
No.
No?
No.
Because that really was beautiful.
Hey, so you're changing your answer?
I'm close to... Here's the thing. I just want to say my piece.
Why did you originally say it?
Because I agree that, like, one, you did teach me a lot about those
Yeah.
fights. But two, I agree that they're, like, well written and in the context of, like, the full film. Like, I do love Luke just bashing at Vader. And, like... I think that there are, like, a lot of moments, like, in movies where I'm like, oh, because of, like, the weight of everything that came before it, this moment is really strong. But there are no fights, and maybe you disagree, there are no fights in those original trilogy movies that I would ever just rewatch to watch a fight. You know what I mean? That's more what I mean. Like, I think they're well written, and I think, like... it's very clear that they're struggling against, like, the limitations that, like, these fluorescent lights will probably shatter if we bang them too hard, and, like, some of these actors are old men. I think that, like, the original trilogy has those great written moments. The prequel trilogy is too over-choreographed, and I get what they were going with it, but, like, again, it leads to your eyes just glazing over when it's 30 minutes of, like... twirls and none of them would actually hit anybody. I think the video games are the only, like, instances where I've been like, oh, this is how trained and tactical a Jedi is. Like, anytime we get an instance of Order 66, I roll my eyes because it's like, what happened to these guys being fucking trained and, like, the best swordsmen ever?
Yeah.
And, like, especially in, like, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
but,
you
like,
just see, like, people on the Jedi Council going down in, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah, like, oh, all it took was 2 guys shooting at them. Oh, okay, that's the weakness. But, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, the Knights of the Old Republic, like, cutscenes.
Yes, of course.
There's, like, great moments. Like, there's one where there's 2 Jedi fighting 2 Sith.
Yes.
And one Sith is about to cleave a Padawan, and the other dude throws his lightsaber, and it, like, counters that hit while also, like, coming back for him to block. There's so much like that where you see them, like, analyzing on the fly. There's the one with, like, in the later expansions with the woman taking on, like, 6 dudes on a train, and it's very tactical, and, like, every attack she does is also blocking another one. And so I mean more in terms of, like, friends are over, they've never seen Star Wars before. What am I gonna show them to show them that it's, like, has great action? It's nothing from the movies.
So I can tell you exactly why you feel this way, and the idea, because you rewatch the Knights of the Old Republic cutscenes.
Yeah.
You would never rewatch an original trilogy fight scene. Is the
Right.
sentence you just said.
Right.
So this is, let me tell you why. The original trilogy fight scenes are great in the context of the movie.
Right.
Because it's a movie. Video game fight scenes are in the context of a video game. You play a video game, you might play for 2 hours and then you stop.
Right.
You might play for 30 minutes and then you stop. Video game cutscenes are not designed specifically to come before or after something in particular,
Right.
because a video game is not linear like that. You might go a month between picking up and putting down a video game before you pick it up again.
Right.
So a video game has to be designed to not necessarily, you might not know what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on right now.
Yeah, they're like
When
short stories,
In
kinda.
the movie, as I just explained to you, in Empire, everything Luke does in the fight with Vader on Bespin is because of his character decisions in that movie. And that's how you get from Luke point B to point Z in Return of the Jedi. Unfortunately, we just don't see any of that on screen, which bothers me. But so that's my answer to that. Is those scenes are not made to be rewatchable. And then the rebuttal I would make to you,
Why not?
I agree with him. I agree with him. I never once have I just said, oh, I'm going to YouTube the Bespin fight. Never
Right.
once. Even though it's probably my favorite fight in Star Wars. Never once have I been like, oh, I got to see the Return of the
Right,
Jedi fight
yeah,
now.
I think-
it's great in the context of the film. And the other rebuttal I would make to you, which I agree with you almost completely on, is I have YouTubed to rewatch prequel fights. But that's because those are the highlights of those movies. The fights have almost nothing to do with those movies.
Right.
It goes, okay, we're going to talk about weird, boring Senate stuff, and this is pod racing, and
then there's a fight.
Darth Maul. Yeah. Right. It doesn't. It's not linear. It doesn't.
I think you're totally discounting a lot of the prequels. You can say that about some of the fights. That's fine. You cannot say about the Mustafar fight. It is the climax of all three of those movies. It is extremely emotional, and in terms of like they're fighting, reflecting who they are. Like there are moments in that fight where like you can tell that Obi-Wan and Anakin have been friends and brothers for so long that they are anticipating what they're going to do. Yeah, they throw a lot of like extra flips in there and stuff, and like you can call that stupid if you want, but like that fight is specifically choreographed in a way to display that they are both masters in what they do, and they have known each other for so long that they are predicting what each other's going to do. And you have the emotion of you care about Obi and you care about Anakin, and you see Anakin finally take that last final step of becoming evil when he sees Obi-Wan step out and he attacks Padme. And then you also have, I can't say it's not emotional, it's emotionalist when at the end you get the "you are my brother" Anakin speech. Like all of that is in the Mustafar fight, and you're just throwing that all out because you think that there's some extra like flipping that doesn't make sense. That's not true.
It's not just extra flipping. They are swinging on vines like they are Tarzan. And okay, like if you want to say
all the stuff I said is still true.
But like it's 30 minutes long. It's literally 25 minutes of screen time of that movie. That's just too long. It takes me out of it at some point. And on top of like again the swinging like they are Tarzan. Just cut the rope. Like it's not tactical. It's not smart because they did too much with that fight. That fight would have been 60 times better.
It's one of the most rewatched fights in any media of all time. People love that fight, and for good reason. It's fine for being that long and for taking that much of the movie. If it had been shorter, people will complain that it wasn't long enough, because why wouldn't the Obi-Wan Anakin fight be that long when it's that important? It is the turning point from episode 3 to what you get in episode 4. It is the most important fight probably in the entirety of Star Wars, at least top 3. Why not make it long?
The seeds of chaos I've sown among the two people who disagreed with my point.
At the end of the day, it's the Avatar thing, right? Like Avatar is a great show because it was enjoyable for kids and it's enjoyable for adults. I don't feel that way about the Mustafar fight. I think it is. I
disagree.
Children.
Oh, I like that.
I think
That's
fun.
and
I think you don't. In terms of rewatchability, the original trilogy fights are not as much for children. No?
Of course.
Okay, so I say it should be both. I think the video games probably do both, where because video games can give you that emotion. You care about these characters, you actually play as them, so you get the emotion, but you also get some very well choreographed, cool, this is happening.
Right.
Like, I really like the freaking Mace Windu fights in like the original Clone Wars movies from like 2002, because he's doing stuff like that where like he's fighting a droid over here and like his lightsaber comes out and slices one behind him, and then he catches it. Like, that's freaking sick.
Yeah, right.
But I think specifically the Mustafar, and I think the episode 1 fight with Darth Maul, like, Darth Maul doesn't come out just come out of nowhere. And then you also get like how Obi-Wan's fight changes when he sees Qui-Gon die. Like, that's emotional. He comes in way hotter after that and is just swinging for the fences. Like, I think there's some things in those fights that are being completely discounted in this conversation. But
so have I changed your mind?
I like, and I'm not doing this like out of like pity or anything, but like out of sheer respect for your soliloquy and because it genuinely moved me, I will switch to disagree.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, because the original thing was there are no good lightsaber fights outside of video games. There are one or two good ones.
I know. I think I like...
The video games just have the best in your opinion.
Well, you like just swayed me on like the context aspect about it. Like, I think I was too close-minded in that statement where I'm like, I think as like a fight from like purely like choreography, from a purely choreography standpoint, I do think the video game ones are better. But like, I do think that like a fight at its best is the culmination of emotions, not just like flips and kicks. So I disagree with my own point.
I think the best fights will have both.
Yeah.
Notice how we didn't talk about any of the sequel fights. That's crazy. Okay.
I like one of them, and I know you guys don't.
Which one?
Which one?
I like the Rey and Kylo versus the Red Guards. No one likes
love that
shit.
fight.
That fight's so good.
I love
Who
that fight.
cares if
Have
a
you
knife
seen the breakdown
disappears?
of it? How it doesn't make any sense? There's no
cares?
Who
It's
cares? You just
awesome.
made points the entire time we've been talking about how choreography matters. What are you talking about? In terms of choreography, that one's worse than anything else talked about.
But guys-
Your way of arguing makes no sense. You talk about one thing for 30 minutes, and then it just doesn't matter when you want to make a different point.
You are.
Holy crap! Who cares? You do!
Do you see why I didn't bring up the sequels? You're destroying your own set.
Dude, I almost passed out.
I know, I saw. I've never seen someone turn that many shades.
I had a lot of fun watching that scene in that theater.
I liked it.
It's so fun.
It's cool. You know, a knife disappears mid-edit. That's okay.
Who cares? Yeah,
People are just falling over for no
They're
reason.
falling over for no reason. Who cares? I didn't notice that my first watch, my second watch, my third watch, my fourth watch.
Yeah,
I
I-
noticed it when somebody pointed out on the internet.
It's not as bad as like the Christopher Nolan ones where
Yes, those
I'm
are
watching
so
like
bad.
Catwoman literally kick nobody and a dude a yard across goes
Yeah,
down. Like
so bad.
I didn't notice when I'm watching it.
Batman
casually,
Begins.
so.
I think Batman Begins is a near perfect movie. The main problem I have is the fights. The shaky cam.
Yeah.
What are we doing with the camera, brother? Like, oh my gosh.
All right, here we go.